In tonight's cover story, many of you have called, emailed, and contacted us on Facebook questioning the way we say Camp Lejeune.
Now, most of you have always said Lejeune, and for many years, so did we. So why is there so much confusion over how you pronounce the name of the Marine base? WECT's Kim Ratcliffe takes a closer look at where it all comes from.
First, I want you to know I lived on base at Camp Lejeune. My father is a retired Marine who for years tried to tell me the correct pronunciation is Camp Lejeune. I laughed, and just like many of you said, that can't be possible because there is no R in the spelling. Well, since I've learned why it's pronounced Lejeune, I've never questioned it again. He's known as the greatest leatherneck of all times, the 13th Commandant of the Marine Corps, with a long list of distinguished service awards, including 3 Bronze Stars. He's so highly regarded, the largest Marine Corps base in the world is named after him. His name is Lieutenant General John Archer Lejeune, and the correct pronunciation for the base, according to his family members, is Camp Lejeune.
The family pronounces it Lejeune, as though it had an R in it, which it does not have.
John Lejeune is one of many descendants of General Lejeune, who was born and raised in southern Louisiana. For many in North Carolina, the base has always been known as Camp Lejeune.
It's just what I was raised up in before the actual change. It's been changed to Lejeune, back and forth.
And the history goes way back. World War II veteran George Burroughs remembers his drill instructors in boot camp telling him it's Lejeune.
It was originally called Lejeune when it was here in 1942 when they made this into the camp. And it was called Lejeune then, and they called it that for years and years.
But at some point in time, the base became known to many as Camp Lejeune. Some would say it's because of the way it looks.
It's a matter of confusion about how you read it. People argue again, there's no R in Lejeune, but there's no R in Colonel, and yet Colonel is pronounced Colonel, not Colonel.
There have been several attempts to get people to change back to calling the base Camp Lejeune.
And that it was pronounced Lejeune.
WRAL news anchor Charles Gaddy did a story on this in 1983.
An American hero, John Archer Lejeune.
Then in 2008,
it is John Archer Lejeune.
Historian P.T. Brent and World War II veteran George Burroughs started a media blitz explaining the history and research behind General Lejeune and why the base should be called Camp Lejeune. Retired Colonel Michael Kasperzak spent most of his career in the Marine Corps saying Camp Lejeune. He says that's what he was taught, but he says Camp Lejeune now.
It's historically correct, and it's consistent with the wishes of the family. However, this information needs to be taught at the points of entry for Marines, such as the Marine Corps recruit depots in San Diego, Parris Island, as well as Officer Candidate School and the Basic School in Quantico.
So what are top commanders at Camp Lejeune doing to help this effort?
Our leaders in every public event that they go to have pronounced it the way it is meant to be pronounced. There are people around this area that have grown up saying Lejeune, and we hope that people who are interested in the history of this base, which is so intertwined with this community, maybe they'll make the effort to get it right too.
We're talking about Marines from Camp Lejeune.
There's been an accident at Camp Lejeune.
It's actually a Camp Lejeune Marine.
There has been a death at Camp Lejeune.
Now that we know Lejeune is the correct way to pronounce the base, we feel we should pronounce it correctly.
If it's done this way, then it'll just fall right into place, and then that's what it will be from then on. We can sort of, quote, stamp out, close quote, the Lejeune part.
Kim Ratcliffe, WECT News.
And truthfully, we did mispronounce Camp Lejeune for many years until we were corrected. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kim Ratcliffe was the one who corrected me, at least, saying that it was Camp Lejeune. as opposed to Camp Lejeune. But I know many of you are still saying this is how I've pronounced it all these years. We did as well, but it is Lejeune.
We've already gotten an email from somebody who said, I've pronounced it Lejeune for 50 years and I'm going to keep doing it. And that's fine. We just want everybody to know why we do it the way we do it. And Kim did the research and did it very well.
She did indeed.